This guy rewrote poker history with a single sentence and an unwavering stare. Antonio the Magician Esfandiari walked in, a grin playing on his lips as the cameras caught his every step. In a pre-tournament interview, he was asked what he would do if he won the one drop. Antonio looked straight into the camera and predicted it wasn't a question of if, but when he won. Those words hung in the air as he settled into his seat. Around him, 7 other guys, each with $1 million on the line, felt the intensity immediately. This wasn't just poker, Antonio was making history.
Leader for this huge final table. Surely this is the moment you've been dreaming about since you first heard about this tournament.
That is absolutely correct. When I first heard about this tournament, I actually didn't think they were going to get it off the ground. I mean, $1 million buy-in. I remember the first time I saw a $20 chip and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And to think that 48 people put up $1 million to play in a poker tournament is insane. So to be at the final table is really a dream come true. $1 million, which is pretty insane. My dad told me I was crazy. He's like, son, are you sure? And you know, here I am going to the final table as a chip leader. So without risk, there's no reward. And that's where the juice lies. And so a big risk and hoping for a big reward at the end.
48 of the world's wealthiest and most fearless players had each dropped $1 million for the ticket to compete in the big 1-for-1 drop. Yeah, half went to charity, but tonight was all about poker glory. Days of grueling play had shrunk the field to 8 finalists. Antonio sat at the center, his chip stack towering near 40 million, more than double some rivals. Across the green felt, Sam Trickett leaned in, face unreadable. Every flick of a card, every shift in chip counts electrified the room. When the dealer fanned the first board, silence fell, and every player knew that one mistake now meant losing millions and a place in poker history.
Or is it the other way around?
Antonio has a real hand.
Snap call.
Antonio calls. Wow. He shows
Queens.
Is it ace king to queens?
Yeah. For Guy and ace king
on, buddy.
for Antonio. And there you go.
One time!
The Cirque Clown nose is in place for the biggest pot of this tournament.
You gotta love their attitude. You know, $18 million for first place. This will change the chip leadership. Guy can move into the chip lead here if this holds up, or he can be knocked out if Antonio outdraws him.
Pot of the tournament so far.
Esfandiari with 55 million to Guy's almost 26 million, so they would just about exchange chip positions, and Guy would vault into the lead should he win this hand. And no ace, no king.
Antonio looking for an ace or king, 6 outs right now.
And that's all that Antonio's looking for right now.
It's coming.
No, it's not.
Early in the final table, Antonio faced off with Guy Laliberte, the Cirque du Soleil boss. Guy wasn't messing around. He shoved all in pre-flop with a queen-jack offsuite, hoping to catch a fold. It was the kind of hand that looks decent in motion but folds fast under pressure. Antonio looked down at ace-5 of diamonds. No premium, but against a loose shove, that hand could easily be ahead. He paused, took a breath, and made the call. The pot ballooned to over 20 million. The flop came. 9 of clubs, 6 of spades, 3 of diamonds, nothing for either. The turn, a 10 of hearts, still no help. Then came the river, the 4 of clubs. Guy missed completely. Antonio's ace high was good. Antonio scooped a massive pot, over 83 million in chips.
Turned card is a king! Antonio takes the lead.
He said it was coming.
It's coming! It's coming!
Antonio needs to dodge a queen to win this pot and knock out Guy Laliberte. Antonio standing to earn upwards to have a chip stack of almost 76,000 million chips.
One time, I didn't have it this time. I didn't have it! I had no one time!
No one time!
Hey, you had yours before.
No one time!
Only a queen will double up Guy. The 4 of clubs ends the tournament for our host, Guy Laliberte. Antonio Esfandiari. And Antonio to over 83 million chips.
It wasn't just a call, it was a message. That calm confidence, that's what makes champions.
1.6, yeah, bring that in.
Einhorn has immediately proved that he's not afraid to commit his chips. He knows it's the only way he has a shot. He's already shown 9 high in a spot like this. Antonio hasn't been able to see that, but it's pretty clear that he's done it enough times. Antonio knows he has to start calling wider.
And he does call from Antonio to put Einhorn at risk. King 10 for Antonio. King 9 for Einhorn. Wow.
And David Einhorn let out a big sigh when he saw Antonio's hand.
Antonio said, enough is enough, David. We got to show down.
See what happens.
So, David Einhorn at risk of being knocked out. 4.3 million for
very
third
unlucky
place.
that they're sharing the king here and that Einhorn has such a small chance of winning.
Is Phil looking to re-enter?
You're gonna miss this hand?
What do you have? You have the best hand? No.
King 9 against King.
Later in the match, Antonio was up against David Einhorn, a billionaire hedge fund dude who wasn't afraid to throw chips around like it was nothing. Einhorn shoved with King Knight offsuite, aggressive, but not unbeatable. It was the kind of move designed to test someone's nerve. Antonio peeled King 10 of hearts, slight edge, but a dangerous spot if you're second guessing. He wasn't. He called. The pot billed fast, nearly 9 million on the line. The dealer spread the flop. 10 of hearts, 9 of diamonds, 6 of clubs. Top pair for Antonio, middle pair for Einhorn. Einhorn needed help bad. The turn came. 5 of spades. No help. The river, queen of diamonds, still nothing. Einhorn was out. Antonio didn't flinch. He celebrated. He raked in the chips, locked in and quiet.
Really? Turn card. Tray of hearts. Nobody holds a heart. So 1 card left, perhaps, in this big 1-for-1 drop tournament for David Einhorn.
2 in the deck, baby. There's 2 in the deck, baby.
And
Let's go 5%.
if Antonio can dodge a 9, both he and Sam Trickett guaranteed second place of $10 million. 1 card to come, a 9 and only a 9. Keeps Einhorn alive. The queen of spades will be the last card that David Einhorn sees in this tournament.
It's such a pleasure, man. Okay? Such a pleasure. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Good luck. Nice to meet you. When you take it good.
18th place in the 06 main event, now going out in 3rd place, winning $4.3 million.
Another read, another scalp. The magician was putting on a show.
Trickett and Hellmuth.
You don't want to double up my man.
Ace queen for Trickett, ace 10 of spades for
And this is
Hellmuth.
really just unlucky for Phil Hellmuth. Actually, nothing he can do with ace 10 of spades and 10 big blinds. It's just a cooler in this situation. Really.
And to this point, Phil was never dealt a premium hand.
Yeah.
You've been tracking that backstage, and
In all fairness, Phil really hasn't been dealt anything all day.
so he needs to get lucky here. Hellmuth all in and behind with his ace 10 of spades against Sam Trickett's ace queen of hearts.
Phil just 3 knockouts away from his 13th bracelet, but if he gets knocked out here, it is over. And he is a big dog in this hand.
All right, here we see the flop. Phil Hellmuth at risk. 5 in the door. Ace 10!
What a flop.
Hellmuth out flops Trickett.
But
It's not
Trickett
over.
Does have a flush draw and a queen would win, so they are almost in a coin flip at this point, even though Phil's hit a 10.
Now let's talk about the legend, Phil Hellmuth. The poker brat was short-stacked and knew his time was running out. He looked down at ace 10 and made the move, shoving all in for the last 2.6 million. It was the kind of hand that you don't love, but when the blind are squeezing you, it looks like a lifeline. Sam Trickett looked him up with pocket eights, 2 showmen and a stare that didn't blink. The dealer fanned the flop, 9 of clubs, 6 of diamonds, 2 of hearts, nothing for Phil. The turn was a 7, close but no help. And the river, 4 of spades, Brick City. Helmuth's run ended right there. He stood up, nodded respectfully, and walked away in 4th place. Trickett didn't say much, he just scooped the pot and got ready for what was next.
King of diamonds.
And it can also come King Jack.
King wins with any
So a lot more outs.
17 outs now.
Just one to come.
A bigger sweat for Phil Hellmuth. Trying to double up to 17
I've
plus.
got too many outs, too many.
So a king, a queen, a jack, or a heart.
God, any pain. Really slow.
King, queen, jack, heart. Or Phil Hellmuth will double up. The 12-time bracelet winners in the balance, and it's a jack.
It is a jack.
And that will end the tournament. So many outs for Trickett there after Phil outflopped him.
Again, nice combinations. Well played for the charity. I think that's a very class move. Thank you. I like the way you played it.
$2.6 million for Phil Hellmuth, his biggest payday of his tournament career.
The table was now set, Antonio and Trickett. One of them was walking away with history.
And the consolidation of the chips continues to Trickett and Esfandiari.
All in dark, I'm in.
Ended out $10.1 million for the runner-up, $18.3 million for our first place finisher tonight. It will be either Antonio Esfandiari and it's paid off.
Yeah, Antonio has 2 WPT titles, 1 bracelet.
He needs over 3 million chips to make this call.
Doesn't look like he's calling.
Re-raise to 10 million.
You heard him.
And here we go, Antonio versus Trickett. Our guy had about 2/3 of the chips, and Sam was chasing but dangerous. They traded pots, stared each other down, and fired bets like jabs in a boxing ring. Trickett opened wide with aggression, big raises, fearless bluffs. Antonio, he stayed patient, cool. He wasn't just watching hands, he was watching him. Every eyebrow twitch, every breathing shift, every pause before a bet, that was data. The blind kept rising. Tension built with every orbit. At one point, Trickett fired a $3.5 million raise into a dry board, and Antonio called instantly with second pair just to let him know, you're not pushing me around, dude. It was a war of timing, psychology, and guts. One hand was going to tip it, and Antonio knew his chance was coming.
Antonio.
And it's another essentially min raise here.
Right.
Now, Sam has committed so many chips here that I'm not sure if he would do that on this board, willing to fold when he thinks it's possible Antonio could just have a flush draw and go all in. So this looks very, very strong from Sam. But again, these guys are capable of almost anything.
All in.
All in.
And
You heard all
And he
in
does have
from
to call.
Antonio. And a call.
probably flush draw against a 5.
7-5 for Antonio. Queen 6 of diamonds for Trickett. This hand's not over, but Antonio Esfandiari with the 3-5s. Trickett with the diamond draw. For all of $18.3 million in prize money. Sam Trickett at risk.
Then came the hand that sealed the deal. Antonio looked down at Ace-King, one of the best starting hands you can ask for, heads up. Trickett opened the action with a raise to $1.5 million. Cool as ever, Antonio just called from the big blind, choosing not to re-raise. He wanted to keep Trickett comfortable. The flop came. King of diamonds, 7 of hearts, and 2 of clubs. Top pair to Antonio. He checked. Trickett bet $1.8 million, trying to keep pressure on. But Antonio didn't hesitate, just called again. He was reeling Trickett in. The turn was the 8 of spades. Antonio checked again, letting Trickett keep the lead. But Trickett slowed down and checked back. The river came, a queen of hearts, still no threat. Antonio paused and then shoved all in. That bet wasn't just a play, it was a statement. Trickett tanked, squirmed, thought long and hard, and folded. That pot pushed Antonio past $18 million, and just like that, it was over.
1 favorite here to take down the $18 million.
Sam needs just one diamond with 2 cards to come. If it's a clean board, Antonio is our champion. Here's the turn card. Tray of hearts and 1 card to come. Antonio Esfandiari is just 1 card from winning the biggest prize ever in tournament poker. Sam Trickett needs help immediately.
Trickett has to have a diamond, or the big one goes to Antonio.
Antonio's father and everyone else on their feet here at the Rio. The biggest river card in poker is a heart! Antonio Esfandiari, the magician, pulls the biggest rabbit ever out of his hat.
The barefoot magician with 18 million plus to take home.
He believed in himself. He made other people believe in himself.
You're the greatest! You're the greatest! Come on!
As the crowd cheered and cameras flashed, Antonio raised his platinum bracelet high. He leaned into the microphone and dedicated his bracelet to his dad. That promise from the start, it's not if, it's when, had come true in the biggest way possible. Antonio didn't just win the 1 drop, he owned it. What would you do with a pocket queens in a dream? Let us know in the comments, and if you want to see what happens when pure confidence crashes into chaos, tap the card to watch how Jamie Gold went from unknown to unstoppable in 1 legendary weekend.